Welcome to another episode of Drop Zone Clear, and today I'm going to be talking about some tips and tactics on how to take on the Scourge with the UCM. In particular, I'm focusing on the units that you'll get into the 2-player battle box, or these are the same units you'll also get in either the plastic or the resin basic starter sets for both the Scourge and the UCM. So I'll just talk you through the units that I've got. Over here I have some Scourge Hunter tanks. These are the anti-tank variants for the Scourge. Over here I have the Rapier AA tanks for the UCM, and over here I have the Sabre anti-tank tanks for the UCM. So the first thing that I want to discuss is you've got superior range with your UCM units, whereas the Scourge movement is their thing. So they really have quite short range weapon in comparison to the UCM. These Hunter tanks can only shoot 12 inches, where the UCM Sabre tanks can fire 24. However, because these have a 9-inch movement, they have a threat range, which is their movement and their shooting combined. So 12 inches plus 9 inches is going to be 21 inches. So that's kind of the bubble that they can move to and attack, obviously with line of sight rules and what have you. Whereas the tanks here, they can move 4, but they can shoot 24. So that means they've got an additional 7 inches at the end of their threat range, where the Scourge can't engage them, as they just don't have the manoeuvrability to do so. So that's one tactic. Try and keep them at bay and keep back, because there is a tendency in drop zone where I see where a lot of players, they try and move forward and try and get into the centre of the ball, which is fine with particular units like board control units. Your anti-air, that's a particularly good place to have them, or if you're trying to get objectives with your infantry. However, for the UCM, sometimes it's better to stay back and use your range as your friend, rather than having to go in close and go toe to toe with the Scourge, because they're not designed to do that. That's not their thing really. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to talk about another tactic here, which is you can use your anti-air against this Scourge. Now this, you will need to pull a lot of dice to make this work out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate that now. Now I'm going to do the concentrated pattern with these 2 anti-air tanks, and they're firing into this Hunter here. So I'm going to roll 6 dice and I need 3s to hit. So let's just put that back on. That has given me 3 hits. So I will need a 6 to kill this tank, but let's see if the luck is with me today. Yeah, there we go. So there you go. By putting 6 shots into that, statistically, by rolling more dice, you've got a good chance of taking one out. If you are going to do this, I would recommend you put as many dice as you can into one tank, rather than trying to split it. Now the next strategy that I want to discuss is how to make an armoured fortress for the UCM. Now the special rule that I'm going to employ to use this tactic is called articulated. So the way it would work is, normally, as you can see with the Scourge I have here, they can only fire at one other vehicle in front of them. That's the generic rule for this. However, the UCM, because all of their weapons are on boom arms, as you can see here, they have the articulated rule, meaning that even this one can still fire at these. In fact, all 3 of them can. Now the way this works is, defensively, is if all the Scourge were piling their shots into the UCM, it makes them have to make a very tactical choice. Because of allocation, they've got 3 shots. So they could either put 3 shots onto the front one and they're rolling 2s to hit. However, if say they put 1 shot on there and then 1 shot on there and 1 shot on there, it would be 2s to hit that one. If they failed and didn't destroy that one, then the next one would be a 4, and then the one after that would be a 4. So they're getting the +2 because of the cover rule, which is another generic rule in Drop Zone Commander. So the best way to have your UCM formations is like this. However, because of the Scourge mobility, they are going to try and flank you. They're going to move around the sides, negating this rule. So a good way of doing this, to try and give yourself a bit more survivability, is have a building I'm just going to demonstrate by putting my hand there. Having a building here and then having it so your tanks have still got a good field of fire, and it doesn't matter if the first tank is kind of protruding out from the building, so it would say like there, because that one is going to get hit on normal dice anyway. However, by doing that, it's making the Scourge, forcing them to come round to the side that is more preferable for you as the UCM player. So this is a really good thing to think about. And also another way you can cover your flanks is, say for instance, if you wanted to have a bear here, by putting a bear here as well, that would be covering up this flank. And if you had a building on this flank, you've made kind of like a little fortress for yourself. Because the UCM armour is generally some of the best in the game, this is a very viable strategy. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing some more videos looking at strategies and tactics. If there's anything you would like to see, then please let me know. I don't have any Shaltari, well actually I have one Shaltari model, but I don't have enough to kind of do a proper demonstration or a PHR army as well. But I have the other 3 armies, so I'm more than happy to do these videos looking at the Resistance and also looking at the Scourge and how you can use their tactics as well. So hope you enjoyed that, and thank you very much for watching, and go play Drop Zone, you know you love it.